The pilot episode. Here we go again with your three friends, Drew, Neil, and Perk. We got your favorite movies and shows. It's three guys nobody knows. The pilot episode.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We finally have Perk back with us, and tonight's episode is gonna be H&H on the pilot episode. We're covering hemorrhoids and hobbits, guys. Y'all have missed a lot. For those of y'all that don't watch, there's a lot of laughter behind the scenes right now. We've got some personal shit going on. It's not me. I'm not going to say who it is, but y'all can do the math. There's only three of us. But anyways, we're here to finally cover The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Some of y'all may end up calling it Return of the Hemorrhoid before we're done. But anyways, we're here. I'm excited about it. One of my favorite movies of all time. Fellas, what do you got?
I feel like a crippled old man.
There it is, folks. If you're not watching, I'd find a way to watch it because now you know who it is.
It's just, I don't know how to, I'm not going to get into the full rundown, but we've got a lot of things going on.
Please don't.
As well. It just, stuff's not great at the moment. And it takes a lot for me to sit in this chair right now. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. So I hope you enjoy this shit because it fucking hurts me.
Well, we got a great movie to offset his pain. Are really excited to have Perk back. And Perk, you are the ratings guy.
You caught me on a bad night. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I don't love these type of movies, and I was gonna really try and give it a chance, but you've caught me on a bad night. I'm pissed off. I'm hurting, and this rating could go downhill in a hurry.
You still got to be honest. Nobody can affect your asshole but you. You got to be honest. Perk's choking.
Right,
as soon as we get him back, we will get ratings.
Let's get into numbers, boys. So this one,
Well, we damn near 69 already, but go ahead.
Has got a 94% from the critics. It's got an 86% from the audience on Rotten Tomatoes. A little low on the audience score, but that is because, in my opinion, it is the worst of the three in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and it was a little bit of an upset for some of the Lord of the Rings fans at the time of its release. So that really hindered it.
I do want to really hammer time of release, because if you would have told them in the year 2000, what was it, 2003, 2005?
Something along those lines.
I think 03. This was 03.
Yeah. If you would have told them the Hobbits were following, I think this ending would have been accepted a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more. You do have a certain crowd that will argue the Hobbits are better.
I don't agree.
I don't agree at all. I get it, though.
I think all three of the Lord of the Rings are better than any of the Hobbits.
I agree 1,000%. Which obviously, like, all three Lord of the Rings are award-winning. All three rated in the top 10 on any site you get on. But if the Hobbits would have released in the early 2000s and you do these Lord of the Rings movies after with that full story, there is a huge debate on these movies are so much bigger than they are. And I do understand that with technology and how things changed over time. But I will also say when it ain't broke, don't fix it. And again, you did a trilogy of considered one of the best trilogies of all time. I'm good with it.
I think one of the things that Hollywood has the hardest time with is leaving well enough alone.
Yeah.
If you have a banger of a trilogy, leave it.
I get what they were going for because of the books here.
Yeah.
This one's a little different because of how true they were to the books.
Yeah.
I will give them a little bit of benefit of doubt on that, but I do agree with you, though. You weren't going to outdo it. I mean,
well, it's really the biggest issue on movie series that don't have like source material they're pulling from, like say Star Wars. There's 9 mainline Star Wars films. There's like 2 good movies,
if that.
What are we doing?
I don't like any of them, buddy.
Yeah, I don't either.
I fell asleep in the movie theater the last time I tried to go watch one of those.
Yeah, it's not good.
The first 2 that came out, episode 4 and 5 for some reason because we released them all weird are the only two that I would kind of give you as like good movies. Now the prequels are so bad that they're kind of funny to watch in a way, and but like the more modern Star Wars movies suck.
Awful.
Suck.
The one thing I will give this trilogy of movies based off a book, if you're honest with yourself, based off a book, they are the highest rated trilogy. We know that already. Like I said, you can look up anything, but it's the simple fact of if you've never watched The Fellowship of the Ring or The Two Towers, and you cut on Return of the King, which I think we would all agree is the worst out of the three, it's still a watchable movie, and it's 3.5 hours long.
If you're going to say it's based off of a book, yeah, I'll give you the best trilogy. But this thing here ain't got nothing on Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. That's all I'm saying. That's the best trilogy ever made.
Again, not even the same to the closest sound movie, and following a book.
Can you say that though? Because there is a fourth one.
There's a fourth
of Rush Hour?
Yeah,
there is. Yeah. So your argument's already invalid.
It was a trilogy for a while.
They were talking about a fifth one recently. I don't know if they're going to do it, but they talked about that.
Yeah, it's something like Rush Hour in Italy or something. What is it?
Some
hey guys,
like I don't know.
Hey guys,
there's only 3.
There's only 3 Rush Hours.
Yeah, there is. They never released the fourth one.
They were talking about.
Where to God they filmed that?
No, they never did.
I thought they filmed it.
But regardless, those are not book based, and it's comedy / action.
I mean, hell, your daddy's ass all up and down that Great Wall y'all got over.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's great. But let's go apples to apples here. This is second to none. Again, you can cut on The Two Towers and just watch the war scene, the hour and a half war scene at the end of Two Towers building the Return of the King. If you've never seen any of it, you'll still watch it.
Yeah.
And nobody else can say that.
As far as numbers, I want to talk about this. This movie was made on $94 million. It made $1.14 billion.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Oh, it's a big one. Yeah.
Like I said, biggest movie we've ever done on this podcast.
It's an insane amount of money. I didn't think to look this up, how much the franchise has made as a whole in the box office, but it has to be probably around $6 billion if I had to guess.
If I'm not wrong, The Two Towers actually broke a few records.
Yeah, at the time. And then I think one of the Avatar movies is first now or something like that, maybe?
But again, we're talking about 2001 compared to 2019.
Yeah.
It's crazy this is even in the conversation.
It really is. It's kind of like I don't know, dude. To make $1 billion in 2003 or whenever this came out, ridiculous.
And again, this is the third. They went 2000, 2001, 2003. Is that how they went?
Something like that, yeah. Also, by the way, as I was pulling for my reviews, I literally scrolled through these reviews for. This is a 3.5 hour movie. For about 3/4 of the movie, I was scrolling through reviews on Rotten Tomatoes looking for a 0.5-star or 1-star review. Could not find one.
Because you shouldn't.
You look too early. I made a review a little bit after I watched. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's how you buy yourself.
The 2 reviews I've pulled, I've got a 3-star and I've got a 5-star. I'm going to read you the 3-star. Says extremely slow movie. Nothing really significant appears to happen. Even the finale seems disappointing for such a big saga. The movie could be much shorter. Overall, I kind of agree with that. It is very, very, very slow. And you get to the point to where you have a scene where Smeagol's talking to Smeagol in his own reflection in the water. And I swear it goes for 15 minutes, it feels like.
It's one of the things where I feel like they just had to stay on brand. And if you're
Mhm.
a long movie maker, you make a long movie. And there was some stuff that could have been cut out. But again, like I was saying, just tip of the hat. You're good at making these type of movies. You do it again.
Well, see,
Also, though, you got to factor in the video game storylines and the
Mhm.
books. We're following the books, and we're following 2 other 3.5 hour long movies. A
Yeah.
lot of that stuff that seems meaningless is actually like an entire chapter in
Mhm.
other things.
Yeah, I get that. I do. It's just you guys know how I feel about long movies, and
Yeah.
this 3.5 hours is what Peter Jackson felt was stripped down, bare bones, as much as he could take out. Obviously, because there's the director's cut that's literally an hour and almost a half longer.
Yep.
Like,
That's what I was about to say. It can get way longer if you want it
yeah,
to.
and I've never watched the director's cut just because the fact of the matter is if I
It's half your
started
day.
if I started a 4.5 hour movie, it would take me 4 days to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Like I
You
just
got, you
wouldn't
got to
watch
eat
it all in one
breakfast,
sitting.
start the movie. You got to eat lunch. Every now and then, man, get up, and goes back. I mean, like it's gonna take all day.
That's an 8-hour shift.
It is.
I
By the
mean,
time you do breakfast, lunch, I mean that's an 8-hour shift.
Yeah, you
you
gotta
sound like the hobbits in the first Lord of the Rings. What
Yeah.
about second breakfasts? I mean, but Perk, I do have some numbers for you though on overall gross between all 3 of them. What they brought home, $3 billion.
$3 billion between
Ye-
the 3 movies.
Yes, sir. We went
Okay.
378, 339, 315.
The Hobbits made a lot of money too. When I said $6 billion, I was thinking these 3 movies plus the 3 Hobbit movies. So it's probably pretty close to $6 billion because I think the Hobbits got close to that too.
But here's what's crazy: the Hobbits came out in the late 2010s.
Yeah,
These movies were released on December the 13th of 2001, December the 19th of 2002, December the 18th of 2003. 3 straight years, almost on the same day, made
were
$3
all
billion.
3 of these movies filmed at the same time? Because I know that Peter Jackson's real big on doing that.
They filmed consecutively
Like
and
back to back to back?
yeah, because there's a TV series now, Ring of Power.
That's
I
actually
did not
pretty
know
good.
that.
It's
I-
phenomenal.
Yeah, I
Uh,
watched that.
I hope they have more seasons. I don't know. I shouldn't even brought it up without having
It
the
come out
information.
like what 3 years ago?
At
2 years
least.
ago?
Yeah. But it did
Also-
really, really well too.
Also, these are filmed in New Zealand, which is
Yes.
worth mentioning, and it is beautiful country that they film in.
Oh, dude, the land, like Two Towers, when they showed the pre-war scene, like when they
Yeah.
go over the land, it's like, God,
I
I'd
would-
just like to go out there and see it.
I was telling Dad while we were watching it, some of the like landscape shots kind of reminded me of Braveheart a little bit.
Yeah.
In a way.
That's fair.
To pull from one of the movies that we've watched already. And because like Mel Gibson movies are similar to Peter Jackson movies in the way that they go on for freaking ever, and they always have like good landscape shots and stuff. So that's something that kind of reminded me of.
The best landscape shots would actually, in my opinion, be the Fellowship of the Ring because the Hobbit
Mhm.
Hobbit homes built into the hills.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to fucking Airbnb one of those places. And unlike y'all,
You'd fit.
it'd be
And-
perfect size.
And you can for $1,500 a night.
Are you shitting me?
Mm-hmm. I just pulled that number out of thin air, but they are expensive.
Yeah,
If
$1,500 a night, I can fucking be in downtown Vegas in a villa.
there's people around here that do crap like that every once in a while, like that. We looked into a tree house at one point. That I realize it's not the same thing, but it was like $500 a night, and I was like, "What the crap are we doing, dude? It's just a freaking tree house."
And what if the tree breaks? No, I'm good.
I got a lot of weight, you know. Are
Yeah.
those branches going to hold me? Probably not.
No tree houses for us here.
No.
Oh, I'm
All
not.
right, I'm gonna read y'all this 5-star review now.
Drew can't go upstairs right now, so he's definitely not getting the tree house.
Fair.
If I catch a splinter, I'm tapping out. I catch a splinter, I'm done for.
On top of everything else, just,
Yeah.
man.
Can't take it.
So this 5-star review. The Return of the King is a stunning and emotionally powerful finale to an already incredible trilogy. The battles are massive and beautifully shot. The stakes feel sky high, and the character arcs, especially Frodo, Sam, and Aragorn, are paid off in the most satisfying ways. Howard Shore's score is unforgettable, and Peter Jackson really nails the scene of scale and weight that a story like this needs. That said, the multiple endings do drag a bit. You definitely feel the runtime by the last fade to black, but honestly, when a trilogy is this rich and well crafted, it's hard to mind a long goodbye. It's not just a fantasy, it's great filmmaking, full stop, nearly perfect, and an incredible, rewarding end to the journey.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. These three films are the closest thing to perfect, in my opinion, you can do.
I understand. So, like how they kind of said that you can feel the runtime toward the end and the multiple endings thing. I 100% get that at the time, maybe they thought they were saying good. I mean, I guess
They did think that.
You're saying goodbye to the characters, right? You're saying goodbye to the franchise. So it's kind of hard to wrap everything up in a bow and just end on the battle or whatever, and just not get to see Frodo say bye to Sam and all that. And it's, you kind of need that, but it feels a little bit like you get to the peak and then we drop way down again.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. Like it goes
it's
into
a big
battle,
let off.
and then you blow off all that steam, and then you end on kind of a low point, if that makes sense.
I don't know. Aragon, I mean, the whole Return of the King thing, Aragon becoming King of Gondor, if you followed this entire series with him starting out as Striker, basically, I don't know, in today's time, he would be a fucking game warden. I don't know how you would even describe that. But him being the man that unites elf, hobbit, everything.
Side note, that elf is badass.
Legolas,
By far my favorite character in the entire movie.
you're just like Clancy. When he takes down that elephant in this Return of the King scene, it's one of the best scenes.
Yeah, he's a guy, and he's a problem.
That's also a level on the video game that you have to take down that elephant with all those guys by yourself.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I get that. That's a fair rating.
Legolas is why I like whenever I play like Skyrim, I basically make Legolas. Like I make an archer elf guy, and that's what I am.
My favorite Legolas scene is him and Gimli, who is a dwarf, who Aragon also united. He was the guy that brought all this together 12 hours ago in movie time.
Mhm.
When they're arguing over kills, and Legolas is over there just fucking popping folks, man. And he's like, I got 4. And he's like, 17. He's like, there's no way. Yeah, there is a way.
I like the one where he said something about never thought he would like die fighting next to an elf or something like that. And he said, what about a brother? And
yeah, no, he
or a friend
does.
or something
Dude,
like that,
he
yeah.
carries that role so well.
Yeah. And so, Neil, I'm going to go ahead and make my character comparison that I told you I was going to make.
All right.
It's not with Legolas. It's Smeagol. Okay. This is going to sound bad because to most people this would be bad. But to me, this character I'm going to say is the best part of the movie that he was in. Well, movies that he was in.
Time out, though. Are we talking about Smeagol as a hobbit, or are we talking about Gollum as the creature?
Gollum.
Okay.
Okay. So Gollum is Jar Jar Binks. I don't know how to elaborate past that, but to me, in the prequels of Star Wars, Jar Jar Binks, personally, I know everybody hates Jar Jar, is the only halfway entertaining thing in the Star Wars prequels. And I get some of the same energy off of some of the Gollum like
Frodo and Sam scenes.
Yes, like specifically, like why does the fat Hobbit hate Smeagol? All that crap, and like just calling Sam just fat all the time and all that crap. And
Oh,
then,
he
like,
takes jabs at him. He takes
the
jabs.
thing where he takes the leavened bread and throws it off the cliff and blames Sam for it and all that crap, like that is all like, for whatever reason, it made me think of Jar Jar Binks, and I don't know why, but it did, and I could not shake it the entire movie.
The only thing I will say, I'm not defending Smeagol or Gollum as the character, but his character development from the first movie when Gandalf spots him following him in the caves to then is unfucking believable. And we're talking about a very small side character that ends up being a big time player at the end. Obviously, like motherfuckers biting Frodo's finger off.
Mm-hmm.
It's about as good as you can do with that style of character. But I do give you, I get what you're saying on that, as far as the jabs and the staying relevant, and his character. I'll give you that.
By the way, Samwise ain't even that fat.
He's really not. He's just a thick built. I mean, when you're 4'8", I feel like everybody looks a little thick. I mean, it's rare I get to say I have a foot on somebody, and I got a foot on these fellas. So, I'm gonna have my moment.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was, I know it's 2003. Some of the CGI in this movie is real dated at this point, and I just wish that directors would know that stuff is not going to age well if it's computer generated, and I wish people would use more practical effects like they used to, because if you think about it, a lot of the practical effects from years and years ago still look fine to this day, but computer generated stuff always looks bad 15, 20 years later.
But I'll say this, like, that's the one thing I told Neil when I watched this. Like, for a movie that was made in 2003, this movie looks like it was made in like 2012, 2014 like range. Like, it looks
the war scenes are, I will say the war scenes are 15 years ahead of their time.
Yeah.
I mean, like the individual, like close-up shots of Gollum and like stuff like that. Like
the Gollum, the spider scene, you can also notice a couple things.
Yeah, and the stuff that's like hard to pull off, like Gollum's reflection in that one scene where he's talking to himself, like stuff like that's like ambitious to do. Like, yes, it's impressive that you pulled it off, but at the same time, you can see that it's a cartoon that's sitting there talking to himself. And I know it's hard to not make it look that way, but it's just a choice that's made that brings me out of it a little bit, just because it feels like I'm watching a cartoon in that moment, because Gollum is the only character on screen.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But again, if we're talking about a 3.5 hour movie, and that is the worst thing we can say, shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to dog the movie or anything. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I'm going to spoil a little bit, that as far as our grading scale goes, it's not going to be the best score for me personally, just because of, one, the length, two, I'm not a huge fantasy guy.
I'm not either, but
I enjoy the movies. I'm not one to seek out a Lord of the Rings movie whatsoever, but we'll get into that. That.
Speaking of that, let's get into the rating.
Let's fucking rate it.
All right. Let me get my calculator out right quick. All right. First category, as always, would you recommend this movie to friends and family? And I will say this before we get into this rating. I understand the significance of this movie and how great it is as far as like the audience score, but similar to like Perk said, this is not my cup of tea, but I am going to take into consideration the greatness of this movie.
Right.
So when we're rating this, we're rating it solely based off the Return of the King as well, not the trilogy.
Right. Yeah.
Which is because if I think both of y'all would say, if I'm being fair, if we rated this off a trilogy, it would change. Y'all's score would change.
Yeah.
Or honestly, would you say the second movie is the best movie?
Two Towers is the best movie. It's not even close.
Yeah. Okay. I also
also read the books and played every video game all the way through. So I am extremely biased in the situation.
Yeah.
So for this one, like I said, taking into everything I said in consideration, I will give this a 4 because if I know somebody's into this type of movie,
It's the best thing you can recommend.
100%, because
Yeah.
I see what this movie is. Although it's not my cup of tea, that doesn't mean I wouldn't recommend it to people. So yeah,
Mhm.
I'll go 4 here.
Yeah. I was thinking similarly to you on that. I'm also thinking a 4 for this category. Um, I know plenty of people in my life that are huge into this fantasy stuff. Like my mama loves this movie or this series of movies. She was excited when Dad told her that this was what we were covering on this one. We've got
Tell her to start liking and commenting, dude.
there's a billion people that I would recommend this type of movie to, and I would tell anybody that they should watch these movies at least
Yeah.
once. If they've never watched it, they need to watch it.
But see, to me, that's a huge comment coming from us three, because I'm also going to say the same thing as y'all three. These are not my style of movies. Like, I am anti sci-fi, no fantasy, and I say that, and these are my favorite movies of all time.
Mhm.
But again, when you factor in the books, the video games, I watched all 3 movies in theaters the day they came out. Like, didn't go to fucking school the day they came out. They're my favorite movies of all time. So I guess this would be my worst rating as far as being truthful, as far as judging the movie. But this is a 5 for me because I don't I don't enjoy this kind of movie, and for it to be this good and
Yeah.
to be 3.5 hours long and be this engrossing, it's impressive.
All right, next category: likelihood of rewatching. I am gonna go back because I've watched bits and pieces of all of them. I'm gonna go back and rewatch all of them at some point, including the Hobbits.
Front to back.
Yes. Probably actually going to start with the Hobbits because if you go chronological order, those are actually
Yes.
technically supposed to be first.
Do that.
So for this one, I'm going to hang somewhere right in the same ballpark because I know I'm going to watch them again, but that doesn't mean they're going to be a mainstay in my life. But give me a 4 because I know I'm going to rewatch.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. I have watched all 3 of these probably 3 or 4 times a piece. Before this time, I don't think I had watched this one in 7 or 8 years, something like that. So it's going to be a while before I watch it again, and it would not be the one that I would pick up if I decided I wanted to watch a Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
And heck, you can't really do a Lord of the Rings marathon because that takes up
That's a week, Perk.
every single one of the waking hours of your day.
Hey man, me
So,
and Haley had COVID together back in the day. We got all 3 done in a day.
Fun fact:
That's-
last time when I had COVID, I also had same cyst because of COVID.
That's true. Has
That's
nothing to do with
also
the movie.
Neil's fault. That's also Neil's fault.
That's the only time I ever got COVID, guys. I thought I was immune. Turns out I wasn't. You get in the casino and have 26 beers, you'll fucking catch it. I did
I
it.
still ain't had it, knock on wood.
That's the only time I got it. I ruined Drew's wedding.
Sure did.
That's on me.
There was
I
no
gave
one
it
there.
to the entire everybody in the fucking wedding. I gave it to him, including the groom.
That's tough.
Yeah, bad luck got us. Anyways, what'd you
Likelihood
rate?
of rewatching, Neil.
Yeah, it's on me. Okay. This will be my first perfect score on the Guys On. I'll just go ahead and give you a spoiler alert here. This is a 5. Anytime we have, like I said, we both had COVID. Anytime we have a time like that, I can burn all 3 of these down. Drew, you know I like a good bender. So
Yeah.
you're telling me at Friday if I can start drinking at 11 and we can burn it into midnight, 1 a.m. Only thing we got to do is break the piss and get another drink. This is what I'm going to.
So I'm guessing this is also going to be a 5 for you then.
That's a
correct?
5, man. That unlike any other. If you want to talk about following the books, following the video games, how they played out, the development of Smeagol, Gandalf. Gandalf died in the first fucking movie, guys. and then we become Gandalf the White. We talk about the King of Gondor and how that changes with Aragorn, Rohan with how that changes. Even with some of the Ox, with how their character is shown and changes throughout battles. With Saruman's character, it's second to none. It's a 5.
I am going to tell you, as far as cast, I'm going to give it a 5. Just thinking about it. Even though you have some big names in these movies, each of these people do their roles so well that they feel like that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like somebody
It
playing
becomes
the role.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Who would you say is the best performance, and why is it Gandalf?
And why is it Gandalf? I'll let Drew rate it, and then we'll break that question down.
I'm same par. I'm right on par with y'all here as well. I'm gonna go 5 as well, just because Neil hit a lot of the points, the character development and like how they actually play their roles. Like
Mm-hmm.
Smeagol's perfect.
You hate him, but you kind of pull for him sometimes.
Yeah, I like Sam in the movie as well. Like you said, I also
Mhm.
like the elf a lot. Argon was actually probably one of my favorite characters as well. I like the
motherfucker.
dude. Yeah,
He's
And
just one of those
then-
guys you want to be in the locker room with, man.
Yeah, definitely a morale booster, leader of men, one might say.
Gimli, the banner with Gimli, and he's the sarcastic little man syndrome
Yeah.
asshole. Like, you can't not pull for that guy, man. We could go on and on. There's even characters that died that were so fucking good throughout the series. But to break down your character or your question on who the best character is, I would have to go with Frodo. He's not my favorite, but as far as performance wise, the ups and downs, the highs and lows throughout 3 movies at 3.5 hours,
Mm-hmm.
damn it, man. Dude was really good. My favorite is Aragon. I know Legolas, Gimli, and Gandalf, I think if you looked it up, would be the top 3 answers. But you can't go wrong with it. Sam is an acceptable answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, rating wise, we officially do not have a new high score. We're at a 4.4, which, if you're going to compare this to a movie, is the exact same rating we have for Miracle.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
Top movie still, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Damn, we're in a tight spot.
Comedies are always going to do better with us, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the point of it. I think that's a fair rating for this movie with how we judge it
Wow.
and base it.
I'm sorry, we're actually tied for third here. It's not the second. I thought it was the second. Die Hard actually came in at a 4.6.
Okay, I disagree with that a little bit. We shouldn't have Die Hard ahead of this.
We do.
But that movie just fits, and also the actors in Die Hard. I mean,
yeah.
we're not terribly wrong there.
Yeah,
But
our
if
grading
somebody-
feels perfect.
If
For that.
somebody that doesn't watch our shit just looks at our ratings, they're gonna say these guys are fucking douchebags.
Yeah.
You got to watch it to see how we rate it to understand, and then I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Glad to have Perk back. Me and Neil will be back next week with Memory of a Killer and Marshalls.
Hope to have Perk with us,
Hope-
depending on the
hopefully
interview
so.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So fingers crossed on that one. But regardless, either 2 or 3 of us will be back beginning of next week to catch up on Marshalls. Thank you guys for watching. It's been another review episode. We have not chosen the next movie we're going to do yet for the movie reviews. But like I said last episode, we're going to go off of like either Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb. We're going to work our way down the greatest movies of all time.
Which
list.
means we'll be watching a lot more Lord of the Rings.
And a lot longer movies. Because I'll be honest with you, I looked at that list the other day. We got
They're
some
all
long
long movies. And I've been telling y'all this, man. If it ain't 2 hours, it ain't that good.
I don't disagree, but my thing we've
Debatable.
always said you've got to get my attention and keep it if you want me to stay there for the whole movie.
The greatest movie of all time is around 90 minutes.
Which
I would
movie
just
is
like to
that,
say
Perk?
that. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Get the
Perk.
get. Go ahead and mute him.
And on that note, we're going to end this thing.
Time
Thank
out.
you.
Time out. We do have a series we may be picking up. We've discussed it. It is a possibility that we are picking up Madison.
It's possible. We got a lot going, but it is definitely in the pot.
Well, I just finished it, and I'll be honest with you, it's the best first season of a show I've watched in years.
Well, tell my wife
I ain't
we
even
got to watch
started that yet.
it, and we'll do an
All right.
episode.
Well, guys, here's the deal. I'm gonna talk to Drew's wife tomorrow. For those of y'all that don't understand how our relationship works, this is common nature. When I want Drew to do something that he's not able to do yet, I just call his wife. So Drew will be watching the Madison. I'll get Perk on it, and I think we're gonna pick it up.
All right. Well, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Seriously, I mean it. Fucking like.
Fucking, you better
We'll be
fucking
back.
like it.
We'll be back next week. Neil, what do you got for him?
Hemorrhoids out.
Was he?
The pilot episode.